Yeah.
Hey, you there?
Hi. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. No, well, I wasn't sure. I heard talking, but not what I thought to be your voice. So
Hmm.
if you'll go to, I'm going to say your email, but it has your mom's
Yeah.
name. If you'll go there, I sent scanned pages of some of the books that I got so that we could go through them.
Hmm.
One of them, I want you to read, and the other has practice that I want you to do. And of course, you can either create a new document or you can just put in the title of a different section of that same document where I like you to take notes.
Okay. Here, I'll just do. Is here fine?
I do not see your screen right now.
You don't?
No,
I thought
honestly,
it.
I don't see anything. It's black. Like either the camera's not there or you have screen share off. I'm not sure. Okay, now I see myself. So you may have. Well, now. Okay, it's black now with me in the corner, so I would think that's your screen, but it would be totally covered if.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah.
Well, I see black and now I see myself.
Oh,
Okay, so now.
I tried sharing, but it doesn't like have the yellow background around. Wait.
It shouldn't have yellow background. It should show me what's on your screen, and you should be looking at, in this case, the documents I sent, or your email still opening them.
Do you see anything? Cause I'm on the document.
I see a black screen like you're not sharing. I don't know.
Hmm. Cause like share. Do you see it now?
No, I see black. Just a
Uh,
straight up black with my face with the camera of me in my upper right corner.
okay. But it. Okay. Okay, now it just shows your picture.
Okay, I was playing with my share screen. Okay, do you see my screen?
No, I don't. All I see is the portrait thing.
Okay, now I tried sharing my screen, but you don't see it, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I should be seeing your screen, but I don't. We usually don't have this issue, so this is weird.
You don't see anything?
No, I'm looking in my settings, make sure it's not the problem.
Video settings. Now do you see something?
No, I don't even see your Now I just don't see anything. I see a black screen. A black
Oh,
screen and the video part where you're supposed to be is black.
okay. Here.
Okay, now I see you.
Okay. I tried sharing, but like you don't see it.
Okay, then for now, if you'll go to the email and open them and tell me
Okay.
what you're looking at, I'll open it on my screen as well.
Okay.
And then we can actually do some material and not worry about this. But maybe you can look at yours later and I can look at mine later.
Okay.
So looking at the documents,
Yeah, I got it.
right, I was going to look at and see which one was the first page, which it's in the order that I scanned them, which the document one is the first page of that book. And I think there were 8 pages, so it would probably be document 9 that's the first page of that book, of book 2.
Okay. Document 9. Okay, I opened one. Does it start with process? Or the title's process? Is that the
Do you
first
see
one?
that the documents are called Epson and then a number?
Yeah.
Okay,
Epson.
so Epson is my printer's name.
Hmm.
So the number, look at that. Document 1 would have first page of that book, and what I think is document 8 or 9 would have the first page of the other book.
Yeah.
And I want you to look at the first page of both.
Yeah.
Oh, there's not a one. Is it 10 to 19 for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would be page or document 10
Yeah.
as one of them, and the other I'm going to see what it is. But go ahead and start reading on document 10.
Okay. Process. Spend some time in between your expertise.
Oh, it looks like the others my mother didn't send after she flipped them.
Mm.
Okay, so this is the only one that appears today. I have uh, that's that book.
Yeah, I finished reading it.
Okay, so either open that same document or create a new one and share it with me. And,
I'll
uh-huh,
I'll just open that document.
okay.
Okay, let me just. Okay. Okay, yeah. I opened the.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, I'm opening it on my window, on my
Oh, okay.
computer since we can't share. You know how I
Yeah.
said I'd do.
Mhm.
Okay. So I titled it. I'm just going to do it by the date since this using both books, they'll build on one another. So it'll almost be like a course I created.
Mhm.
So I'm going to watch your document, your where you type. But looking, did you read just the first page or did you read some of the others?
I read some of the others.
Okay, so how far did you get?
I got to the part where, like, the draft. I got to, like, the beginning of the second page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So based on how far you got along draft, um, using that, can you come up with a topic? Because you see, it gives the first you select quote inventory, which means based on what you know,
Mhm.
and using what you know, what could you write about? That's your subject. I mean, the being your age, one thing you know you always know about is what you think of boys. I mean, and as you get older and you get more education, you're going to know about different stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what's a topic you would want to write what's at least a 5 paragraph paper on?
Um, something that's at least a 5 paragraph.
Right. So, like, if you wanted to make it an educational
Yeah, I get it.
paper, then your topic would be something that you'd want people to know about, and your 3 body paragraphs would be the either 3 things about it to know
Mhm.
or the importance of knowing it,
Yeah.
like the reason. Okay, so if you want to write persuasive, essay, like let's say trying to convince your mom why you should be able to go out on a Friday night and stay up late. I mean, that could be an opinion based because, you know, persuasion, you're trying to tell people your opinion's the truth, and it's honestly always something that's not true. That's the whole key word and part definition of the word persuasion. So, would you rather be educational or convincing? Think what kind. Like, what kind of way are you trying to use it? The point you're trying to make. And
Okay.
based on that, what would be a topic that you would want to voice your opinion?
Okay.
It's probably easier to first start by what kind you want. Do you want to be educational or convincing? So step
Educational.
one, write the exact phrase step one, and then your answer to what kind of message do you want to convey? Convincing, educational, informative, um, fiction, like if you want to tell a story.
I spelled that wrong.
Background, the same as the phrases you know. Back, BACK, ground, GROUND.
Yeah. Should I write that down?
I thought you just asked how should you write it? Or how do you spell it?
No, I I was I didn't did I?
You asked how to spell it.
Oh, I was asking how to spell for another word.
Oh.
Yeah, but I got it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm watching and you haven't typed it yet. So go ahead with
So I would just like write down if I wanted to do educational or
right.
persuasive.
So step one,
Yeah.
you can write the question and the answer, or just your answer to what kind of message do I want?
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Like a story is some kind of message. Just like when you're talking to your friends, you're giving them some kind of message, which is maybe on Saturday morning the what happened on Friday night. So we could even, if you want to, in this course I made, you could even have the goal of writing a book. It'd be
Oh,
long and we could build on it and expand. But you could even come up with wanting to write a fiction book or anything, not just each day writing a different kind of paper.
mhm. Yeah, that's
Okay, so then step two. Since you want persuasive,
yes.
so step two is now,
Oh,
what do I want to persuade?
oh, okay, that did weird.
Put your here right here, and then oh,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
What the heck? An at sign?
I keep pressing like the shift.
Oh, the shift. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought you were hitting enter and it was doing that.
No, it was me because like I keep putting it on the shift.
Right.
Yeah, I keep doing. Okay, so step two.
What do I want to persuade?
Okay. Mm,
So my example was why you should be able to go out on a Friday night. Like if you pretended you were writing to mom.
yeah, but
Or
I don't.
something else that's what you'd want to persuade, that you think you have enough information to back.
Yeah.
One student of mine wrote a paper on why he shouldn't have to do his homework.
Mhm. Okay. instead of
Okay, going to school early. So that's what you want to persuade or convince somebody.
yes.
Okay. So now I'm going back to the document. Where is it? I keep losing it. Okay. So now you have your subject, you have what you want to do.
Mhm.
Okay. Now there's plan. Plan of action is between the steps you take, such as outline, directing it to the person, uh, the reason. So how would you like to go about it? Which generally I say start with an outline, and then I say second, check it over yourself for changes you want.
Mhm.
And with the persuasions, changes you would want when you read over it is, do all my reasons support what I'm trying to convince?
Okay.
One student I had was trying to argue on a Bible-based topic being enforced in the law, political matter,
Mhm.
and his thesis gave an overall statement, which, how I told you thesis is the one statement of the whole purpose of your paper. His thesis was why it's wrong to put religion in the law, but his whole paper, when you look at his reasonings, was why the Bible should be. So that's what you look at in part of your looking over to check yourself is, okay, am I really backing myself up that my opinion is, quote, the truth?
Mhm.
Or am I actually telling people I'm wrong? In his case, he was telling people he was wrong, so that was changes he would want to make looking at it himself.
Yeah.
So then, after you decide, after you look over it, third step would be to edit it as far as more grammar based.
Mhm.
And fourth step in a plan would be to write the final copy.
Mhm. Yeah. What's that noise?
That was a car. I'm sitting outside.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so those I gave were plan.
Mhm.
Do you want to write down what I said that is the plan?
Sure. Okay.
Because
So,
step 3 is to make a plan.
support your thesis. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so that's one thing. You want to support your thesis.
yeah.
Okay, you want to give your reasons.
Give reasons and
Um, draw a conclusion
draw. Yeah.
that agrees with your thesis. Okay, and then after that, you want to read over it to make sure that all your reasons support your thesis and conclusion.
Read it over. So it,
Well, it's not so that, it's to
yeah.
see or make sure. You know how I gave the example of my student that was trying to argue a
Yeah.
political matter. So I read over for him, which is why I was able to tell him, you are telling yourself you're wrong, telling me that you're wrong. In school, something like that would matter because it'd be a matter of your persuasive paper not being persuasive. And not necessarily in school that being that your opinion's wrong. You see what I mean? Okay. So now we're going to 4.
Yeah.
Where's my document again? So analyze your audience. So you can put on the document as step 4 to ask yourself who is your audience, and then to go ahead and give the answer. Such as, since you said your message, what you're trying to convey is that you shouldn't have to go to school so early. So audience, is that mom? Is that principal? School district? Decide who are you trying to give this message to.
Ugh. Nice.
And who would you like to be your audience? Who would you like to tell that you shouldn't have to go to school so early?
I would say like this principal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way you did up here, or right there, hit enter and then go and then tab and put your answer, which is principal, you said?
Yeah. Here
After
and
this.
okay. Here. Enter and tab. Oh. No.
Okay, now, and we go to step 5. And this we're going to actually do, which is your outline.
Yeah.
So outline. Okay. Here's your intro. So in a more general paragraph, but this isn't your rough draft, so it's an outline, so you can use just phrases or whatever that's not proper sentences here.
Mm-hmm.
Your
So
uh-huh.
so just like
Okay,
not.
introduction brings the audience into the matter that you're going to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So what grabs attention and makes people curious about, in this case, why you shouldn't have to go to school so early?
What grabs attention? Uh, grabs attention.
Okay, think about other students.
Yeah.
Okay, one of your big problems with going to school early is because you're tired, right? You don't get enough sleep.
Yes.
So sometimes attention getting sentences or questions. Who likes going to school so early, tired, and having to do homework
Mm-hmm.
or having to take a test or something like that? The question, who would like doing that?
No.
So something similar.
Ugh.
Okay. So then we're going to go down. Oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Okay, now this part. That was your attention grabber.
Yeah.
Now you have your connecting statement. And thesis. So your thesis is a one sentence way of communicating your point.
Mm-hmm.
And when you find that, even though this is not the right way to do it, I find it easier, which is to write your thesis and then make a sentence that connects it to your attention grabbing sentence.
Yeah. Okay. So I should just write my thesis first and then.
I think so, because it's easier to connect dots when you know what your dots are first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like that'd be a better connect.
Okay, so it doesn't benefit anybody. Now,
Yeah.
is that what you wanted?
I was gonna put that as my connecting statement because, like, I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean.
So it doesn't benefit. So if your connection is that it doesn't benefit anybody, what would be your point?
My point would be. Oh.
Okay, think about this. Are you trying to convince them? What are you trying to convince them? If you shouldn't go at 7:30.
Yes.
7:30 here. I think I saw you put 7. But would you try to instead convince them maybe 10?
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to go to school. We need to spend that many hours there, but we need sleep too.
Mm-hmm. It's.
Okay, we don't want to put more reasonable because apparently whoever made that decision finds it reasonable. So,
At a later time?
okay, at a later, but let's think more specifically, what kind of later time? Like I gave the example of 10. Okay, so you get maybe 2.5 more hours of sleep if you went to bed at the same time.
Yeah.
But later could be too general because who's to say you're not talking about going to school at night because of those of us that are night owls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so your also names in 1 or 2 word phrases your reasons that you believe that. So maybe we should go to school around 9:30 or 10 a.m. so
Oh.
it can be more productive.
Oh, okay.
Well, think about that. Is that one reason why you think if you're not so tired and you're not half asleep, how it would be a benefit?
Yeah, we would be more productive, and
Okay.
I guess we would like pay attention more because
Okay.
like we wouldn't be as tired.
Okay. So after 10 a.m. you can put so school can be more productive.
So
Maybe even say cover more material. Because if you learn it quicker, because you're not half asleep, they can cover more in that same 9-month period, right?
yeah,
Okay, so it can be more productive. Teachers can cover more material.
students could improve.
More students could improve,
Yeah.
and maybe even more students can learn. Because think how part of the problem that's why people end up in tutoring is that some people either don't learn at all in the classroom, and the tutor is who teaches them everything, or some learn some, but the school goes so fast they need more teaching in order to learn as much as they should have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so more students can improve and learn more. Improve and learn more mean the same thing.
Oh.
So maybe you can put an even learn, such as even learn in the classroom. Because in my example, where a lot of people get tutoring because they're not learning at school. They
Mm-hmm.
need to learn it and they're being tested on it, but they're not learning it in the classroom. They end up passing in school because the tutor taught them. So it'd be specification of in class, even learn, and then specification of in class. Okay, so you see right in that thesis, all these reasons support also your connection statement, which is that in this case, not that 6 a.m. or starting at 7 doesn't benefit, but in this case, it says it would benefit more. But do you see how they connect? Even your connection statement is very similar to your point, but your thesis is in more detail without being an entire paper. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so now, okay, body paragraph 1. This is basically your first reason.
Okay.
So in your statement, in your thesis, we pretty much gave,
Like 3 reasons.
right. So the general term is productive. The ways is cover more material, more students can improve and learn in class.
Yeah.
So your overall is productivity. In this case, your first reason was to be able to cover more material.
Yeah.
Okay, so which one do you think would be the first you'd want to tell somebody?
Cover more material.
Okay, so write that phrase down right there.
Oh, wait, did I not say?
Okay, so, whoops, I didn't realize mine was on that side. Okay, so now you're gonna, your 3 sentences here Your 3 sentences here will be explanation, in this case, of how going to school later would allow, in this case, them to cover more material.
Students wouldn't be as tired. So,
Okay, so that's one thing.
did I not say? I didn't do that.
Okay, so what goes,
So they
okay, they can grasp more information faster.
yeah.
Now, what supports that? Maybe, first of all, they're not sleeping through class, and maybe second of all, they're able to pay attention.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So now let's make cover more material part 2. Okay, covering more material. Okay, first of all, because they're not sleeping. Second of all, they're paying more attention. Or in this case, the first reason in general is that they're tired.
Yeah.
Okay, can you think of one other sentence that's also supporting of how and why they could cover more material?
They.
Okay, think of this, the same idea about being tired. What about teachers being tired?
Yeah, teachers would be tired.
So that would have to do with covering more material, wouldn't it? The
Yeah.
same way as students, only in this case it's different people that are in a classroom.
Yeah, so the teachers would be more aware.
Well, aware would say pay attention, so they can watch me. They'll notice more when you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll be better at teaching because they won't be half asleep themselves.
Uh-huh.
Try explaining something to somebody when you're half asleep and they tell you, what do you mean such and such? And you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm just too tired to think. Okay, so maybe something that could support both this paragraph and your next is also your teachers being able to explain themselves. So that could even be a connection your last sentence of 1 that connects to students improving.
Yeah. So,
Because your last sentence of 1 in this case, body paragraph 1, you want to connect and lead to paragraph 2.
okay.
So it may be about teachers being better at teaching. Students would learn quicker. Or maybe to lead to, since students learning more is part of your paragraph 3, maybe think about to connect it instead of being redundant, that teachers will be able to simplify or explain it better.
Okay. Teachers would.
Okay, so then let's go to body paragraph 2. Okay, and here we already decided your point is more students can improve. Okay, if you want to put both of those together, then we need a third.
Oh, okay. More students can improve this.
Uh-huh. So now, since you started support 1 being about students and support 2 being about teachers, we could follow that same pattern. So
Okay.
here, now let's go to on the student end. So we already named that they will be tired. So by being later, they won't be tired.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're not tired, they'll be able to pay attention. By teachers not being tired, they'll be able to explain it better. So now, more than just a matter of neither one being tired, how else could starting at 10, or what time did you say, 9:30 or 10, how would starting 2.5 hours later, other than just not being tired, how else would it help?
I mean, if the teachers weren't tired and they were teaching it better, okay, no, because the teachers wouldn't be as tired, so they could teach it
Okay,
better.
that goes back to paragraph 1, which you named tired as being the problem for both teachers and students.
Okay.
But now we got through being tired. What else is our problem?
More what else?
Okay, something you could say, but I do not believe to actually be true, is that you'd be able to do more homework.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I don't believe that to be true, because if you start 2 hours later and you end 2 hours later, you still only have 24 hours to the day, right?
Yeah.
So
But I
you could
mean,
say that, and a lot of people actually will, even though it's based on there still being 24 hours, then there's still no legitimate accuracy in it.
it would start later, so they would have more time to do their homework.
Okay, but if they had if they moved it later so that they had more time to sleep, that's what the 2.5 hours would gain, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's still only 24 hours in the day. So what you do with that 2 hours will change.
Because
But that
still
means, but there's still only 24 hours in the day. So thinking about that, if school is still 9 hours long, and then they didn't reduce how much school, then you still only have the same amount of time to do homework.
yeah,
You'd be up later to do it, but you still only have that amount.
that makes, yeah.
Okay. But what if starting at 10 and it still ended at 2:30?
But yeah, but they would, yeah, you'd have more time to do it, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Because like school school would end earlier.
Because in other words, if it ends at the
Better.
same time, you have the same amount of homework time, but more sleep time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So does that give you an idea for first part of part C?
Yeah.
Okay, try to create something.
Oh, oops.
Okay, but does ending at the same time, the way you put it, just the fact that it ends at the same time, does that say you can do more homework?
No.
Okay, so the way you said students would be able to finish their homework. Okay,
Okay. Finish their homework.
okay, and students improving. So by finishing their homework and maybe by doing better on their homework. But if you do all of it, you get more practice. But also, if you do good on it, you got the right practice, and you'll develop uh, the quote knowledge of something that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Because think you practice it the wrong way, how many times you think the wrong way is the right way.
Yeah. So instead of finishing their homework.
No, I'm saying additional.
Oh. More students would be able to finish their homework and do it better.
Do better on it.
Yeah, and do.
Hmm. And maybe you can support that by saying because they were able to understand the material better in class. Because if you understand it better, you can do the homework easier, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what teacher meant, or maybe you didn't even hear teacher. You can't do what she told you to do because the problem is you don't know it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been doing part one of each paragraph as students, part two as teachers. So let's think teachers helping students improve. Maybe they'd have more energy to walk around the classroom and notice when a student doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I mean, they wouldn't spend as much time correcting their homework because they would do better on it.
Well, that could go with learning, even learning in class part,
Oh,
because
yeah.
if students were learning, teachers wouldn't have to be spending so much time correcting it, would they?
No. I mean, teachers.
Okay, and in this case, we want to specify by starting later, teacher would notice. Well, in this case, the reason that they would notice is because they'd have more energy to be walking around.
Okay.
Because saying sitting at their desk, if you're the person in the far back, or in some cases, even in the front, can he or she see your paper to see what you wrote?
No.
Okay. But if they're walking around, you know they'll catch you.
Mhm.
Because that's why you don't like it, because you know that's when they catch you passing notes or other kinds of things you don't want them to notice. Okay, and in this sentence, okay, the word they goes back to the last group mentioned. In this case, last group is teacher, but what you mean is students.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have to put students. Okay, so we're out of time. It's now 5:02.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm going to have to terminate it, but I want you to think to yourself, is there anything that you can, and if you think of anything, let's go down here. Okay, so I'm going to let you go, but I want you to go here on notes from that's how far we got.
Yeah.
Note to yourself stuff you noticed, whether it's things you learn and you want to be able to refer back to, or maybe comments to yourself about what to put for next time. If you go ahead and think about, in this case, what would be the rest of paragraph 2 and what would be paragraph 3.
Okay.
But my priority with your notes is the stuff you learned today. So you could look back, and when you see what you learned today, possibly even do more before I see you again next week.
Okay.
If you make any changes, do it in red so I will know it from what we did together.
Okay.
And same with if you add anything on.
Mhm.
And I'll know that's what you added and what next week I won't think we did today, and I'll know to check. All right, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, well, I'll be talking to you next week. Take care.
You too.